eSports versus the Sk8erboiz. I cannot wait to see who is on this roster. I want to see the Sk8erboiz play.
Well, we've immediately seen the name Kappa, so I don't hold much hope for everything here, Johnny.
It even had a letter, or a number, sorry, instead of the letter A, I believe. So I have very high hopes for the Sk8erboiz
There is also
initially.
the number 8 in their name.
Oh, there we go.
It's looking good, but trustworthy, as we can see there. Holding time on his back. There goes Sk8erboiz. This is a match, by the way, I believe, to put themselves through to the next round of the tournament, so they will be through this first heat.
Yeah, not many teams would be confident going up against Gale Force today. Perhaps the strongest team besides Northern Gaming in Europe at the moment, with the disbanding of Mocket, and they do get a pretty convincing 1-0 lead. That infield pass from Violent Panda completely taking the defense off guard.
Yeah, it's a case of just keep the ball moving, keep the defense guessing, and if you can keep it moving enough, a lot of defenses just sort of stop. No more movement at all, and it means that they can't accelerate, they can't get themselves to any balls in the future. And that is what's going to allow Gale Force to put themselves in the lead early on in this matchup. So for Sk8erboiz,
focus on backboard play in the previous 2 series today. And
I don't think it's going to change.
Oh, I think look out for these infield passes, ignoring the backboard completely. We did see that for the first goal. I know K-Dop loves to make that pass, just cutting it straight sideways. Violent Panda as well loves to pass the ball like that, especially with you know, being a former teammate at Devo, you know Devo loves to sit so close and get it to the ball as fast as anyone else in the game. Well, there's that straight pass again. Beautiful.
Yet another cutting pass, and that's going to put yet another goal in. As you can see, they are pretty chill with that. But the reason why we saw a lot of these cutting infield passes come in and become a lot more prevalent is due to the Spider-Man defense that we see a lot more from teams. The backboard is no longer as much of a choice as it was back in Season 2. So how do you get away from it? Okay, you're on that backboard. You're not getting to this ball because I'm just going to put it straight into the penalty area. Yeah,
teams that are able to use both the backboard pass and the straight sideways pass to their advantage, given such a massive lead over their opponents who can't use both with great effect, and every goal we've seen so far, completely ignoring that backboard, just this time an air dribble straight into the middle from Violent Panda, or he touches it away from himself, something that I know Paul Semke, famous for his passes off the wall, he says that getting that heavy touch as the final hit before you want your teammates to come in is really good because it's a silent communication that you're ready to offload the ball, and it is now time for someone else to come in and take the shot. This is looking like the Gale Force show right now. 1-2, and another one. Violent Panda can't get around it for the first touch, but he's going to go infield with the backflip dribble, and Turbo is there. Beautiful stuff.
His car around the side of the ball to fling it even higher. Well played there by Violent Panda. And right now, the Sk8erboiz, they look like that. They look like boys in a man's world.
Yeah, it looks like we're not going to see them later if they can't really turn things around. 4-0 in under 2 minutes. Tournament favorites, perhaps, in most people's eyes, putting up a statement and showing us why so many people favor them. K-Dop, one of the most underrated players when it comes to offensive positioning. Look at that. Before he even attempts his jump, he aligns his car to make sure that he doesn't have to do too much aerial correction. Really, really well done. Getting to the ball so early. We saw from the previous angle, before the replay, the defense had almost no time to react there.
No, none whatsoever. Gale Force ripping and tearing away at this defense. And they seem to be scoring every single time.
Word.
That will be number 6, and Johnny, we're not even halfway done.
Every single pass has had some sort of interference before hitting that back wall. It's really, really amazing to see a team use the far side of the field so well in offense, as they're spreading out really, really well. The defense did not see any of these attacks coming. If Sk8erboiz want to learn anything from this, they need to try to sit deeper in defense so that they can have a chance to intercept these passing plays, because right now everything is flying straight over their shoulders with no time to react.
Yep, just a case of them being pulled one way and then pulled the other.
Once
Gale
again,
Force, the
infield
puppet
pass.
masters at this point.
Yeah.
It is pretty confidential. Like, it's so easy right now for them. Just every single bit of offense is working out. Sk8erboiz struggling to get themselves in position, and they need, at this point, I'm almost begging to see one player held behind the goal line.
Yeah, there's nobody sitting deep in defense, and every ball is going into the middle uncontested. This time the backboard is used as a ball ricochets off the post. Goalkeeper thought it was in. It was not. It just centers itself beautifully. 8-0. the most one-sided game that we've seen so far by a long way, and that really puts into perspective how good Gale Force are and how quickly this team have gelled together in the last week or so after RLCS Season 3. K-Dop only missing out on that Season 3 title by a single game. Turbo winning it by that single game, and the whiff coming in. Turbo will benefit. Unintentional or not, these are going to happen even at the highest level of play.
Yeah, Turbo Pulsar at 515 points now. In a regular game, that would be the infamous
over the
1K
mark.
game, which is something most players will love to try and get themselves a hold of. I don't know about you, but I actually save that replay if I ever do a 1K.
Really?
I
I'm
honestly
so bad at
as a goal.
saving replays. I don't think I've ever remembered to save a replay. Sometimes I put a sticky note on my monitor to remind myself to save the replay of a given game, and I'm never able to remember. Oh, it's a bit unusual. Turbo for once not able to get a touch there. Nice wave dash to preserve his boost as he does the back pass, and Violent Panda up so early. Back pass to Kid up to the backboard. Violent Panda straight up in the air. Freestyles it in. What more is there to say? 10-0 with 2 minutes remaining. This is done and dusted with still at least 7 minutes yet to play.
This is double digits reached, and we did mention this earlier on in the pre-show, just how big the skill gap can be between a world-class team and a team that will play casually, will play a bit more for fun. This is it right now on display.
But with these passing plays that Gale Force are showing us, I don't think any team is going to be looking forward to playing against them. Because although the defense has been flawed for a lot of this series, or for a lot of this first game, I should say, the passing plays have been really difficult to deal with. And a lot of them, you know, have been into positions that even teams at the highest level are not that used to defending. Well, that back post is always difficult to defend if you don't have somebody ready with a wide FOV to see the attacker coming from that the far side of the V formation that we always talk about.
Well, it's that really important thing, and you brought it up earlier on, is the fact that they do have everyone spread out, and the passes don't always go forward. They are happy to play it sideways towards whoever is waiting towards the middle or from the side. And because they're using that V, if you are playing that ball in the middle, you've got options available to you. Very difficult for a team to figure out what you're going for until you actually start to make your move, at which point it can be predicted. Violent Panda, I think, is trying to use his compensation boost off the floor.
Oh, a pre-jump and the pinch from Panda and Turbo. K-Dop was running interference in the goal as well. They're certainly trying to get their montage goals. Here comes another air dribble pass. Does get missed. We see it's pretty difficult to read the speed of the air dribble pass if there's no heavy touch at the end, like we saw earlier from Violent Panda.
So 44 seconds remaining. No goal scored for quite a while now, which I think Sk8erboiz will be just thankful for.
I think
at
both
this point.
teams will be thankful for it. I feel like Gale Force are bored at this moment. After putting 11 goals past their opponent, they're feeling bad for them. They don't want to score unless it's a really, really good looking goal. Turbo demos the goalkeeper. Panda air dribble to the far post.
That was good looking. I mean, look at the top right-hand side of the screen right now.
So many aerial
It's just
hits.
Violent Panda. The winner of Greed is Violent Panda. He is going to get this straight in. All of the aerial touches. It's about 20 points each for those.
The poor defenders in the goal line are getting bullied by K-Dop. He's got a smile on his face. He knows that he had a part to play in that goal, although Rocket League awarded him no points. Bumps and demos. Definitely an underscored mechanism in the point system. Of course, the point system is irrelevant.
You don't get
for
like
win-losses.
14 demolishes per game? The 7 for your 10 points?
Yeah, 20 points for 14 demos. Good luck. I feel like in this series, Game 2, K-Dop could probably go for that. He's a pretty aggressive player when it comes to bumps and demolishes. We talked about Pondix earlier being one of the most prevalent demo players in threes. K-Dop known for his 1v1 ability as well as 3v3, and he loves to be aggressive in that regard. Whenever he's playing ones, bumps and demos are not far away from the screen.
So yeah, Gale Force taking themselves an 12-0, actually.
Was it 12?
I think. It honestly
I
got to a
lost
point
count.
where I stopped counting.
I lost count.
Like, it got to 5-0 and I just went, yeah, Gale Force winning versus not winning.
I feel like the second game will go something like 5-0, 6-0 maybe? Maybe 7-1.
I could imagine it being like slightly lower and them just keeping
Yeah,
the
I don't
ball
expect them to
away.
be practicing. Like, that looked like they were sparring. They were just sparring against a far less capable opponent. And they wanted to get all of their practice punches in for later on. And now that they've done that, I feel like we might see those freestyle attempts, those air dribble passes to the center, especially from Violent Panda. He's the assist machine for this team.
Yep. Lola earlier on called him the enabler of Gale Force. I think that's a very worthy name for Violent Panda. And like we said earlier, it was just phenomenal from them the entire way through. They did not make that at all nerve-wracking for themselves. They just took it apart from second number 1.
And we're already seeing people spiraling in the air. As much as we expected, this is going to be a show match. As Turbo showing off his delayed dodge mechanics to get the ball center. They're playing keep away. Defense completely boost starved at this point.
Don't ever say show match. That didn't work so well for me last time. As Sk8erboiz going to put that towards a dangerous area, and Turbo Pulse, bottom of his car. That is an early lead, and Gale Force looking to continue where they left off.
Yeah, Sk8erboiz did well to scoop that up and over the defender, and then we just saw the panic from Kappa. He thought about going for it, but it was a joke. He said, "I've got it, Kappa."
Yeah, that works.
Turbo's bringing back the mustache, by the way. Don't know if you've noticed that.
It looks good.
It's
honestly,
coming back.
I mean, we saw the goatee earlier. It's the facial hair. It honestly is.
Oh, they're all up.
Gives you power.
Yeah, Twitch out. Type 1 if you want the return of the mustache, 2 if you think he should shave it off. I think we're going to see an abomination of 1s right now.
Needs to be. Just commit.
Oh,
Sk8erboiz. Oh,
good read, actually. A double save coming out of nades. Well played. He had a hard read there on Sk8erboiz's fake air dribble. Sk8erboiz was trying to fake the defender high and then go underneath him. Maybe catch the ball and take it over the top of the last goalkeeper. It's Violent Panda trying to freestyle middle. He's barely not able to reach it, but Turbo is. And Panda, I think, has stolen the assist. We called him the assist machine. He's showing us that he can get those assists from almost anywhere, even if it is not necessary.
Oh, that's gross right there.
More of a block attempt than an assist, but it does work. He gets the points awarded to him.
Because they know that we go through all the replays.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, no, no, stop.
But yeah, really, really good-looking performance out of Gale Force. Very, very organized offense. Not looking in any danger of conceding a goal. And so fast, all these 3 players capable both on the ground and the air. One of the most dangerous things about them is that we forget sometimes how important ground play can be. And I really feel like the ground play of Sk8erboiz and his former teammate Fairypeak carried them against Rogue at the World Championships just past. Turbo Pulse and Violent Panda, no strangers to flicks in 3v3. In fact, that was something that I heard Violent Panda credited for before almost anything else back in Season 2. People would say about him that, well, yeah, he's one of the best at flicking the ball in 3v3s. Gets the ball under control very early. Oh, double tap from Turbo. Oh, barely off net. He saved it. Violent Panda gets his shot denied. A little bit of karma from Turbo there.
A bit of comeuppance. That's going to be passed straight over to the side. 3 minutes still remaining.
Double
tries
mind
to
game.
Fake everyone on the pitch. But
Luckily,
Gale Force, yeah, they just look comfortable in every sense of the word.
Oh yeah, I mean, we knew that this was going to be what Game 2 would look like after they'd warmed up their passing plays, after they'd gotten comfortable on stage. They just figured, let's have some fun. Let's try and score some nice goals. Because of course, this will not be a luxury that they have as the tournament progresses. We are going to see some very, very good teams. And another dunk from Sk8erboiz might be an own goal. It's barely off net as these players are trying to screw each other up right now. I'm sure they're having a great time on stage. Just back passing the ball on target.
Turbo Pulsar and the rest of the squad still continuing to try, and that is not going to be a bounce that will allow it. 2 minutes remaining here. And I do believe that this is a game that will send them through to the next heat. I'm not entirely sure on that, though.
They are in a group of 3.
Group of 3, are they?
Sk8erboiz, and then there was that other really funny team name. I can't remember what it was. And then Gale Force. I don't know if Gale Force have played their other game yet. As we see them all in a line, dribbling together. Everybody wants the ball. Of course, we won't be seeing such disorganized play later on in the tournament. At least I certainly hope not. They will struggle if they play this style of ball chasing against teams like Penta that we've seen on stream earlier. Of course, flip side, Method and Rogue will be wanting revenge on Sk8erboiz.
It's a case right now of just keeping themselves as warm as possible whilst trying to score some flashy goals. Something that used to be very prevalent in the early ESL tournaments as well, where they will need to keep themselves warm in between the games and get themselves back up to the high standards that they have set for themselves.
The one thing that worries me is they've had such success with the infield pass in this, well, the game 1 of this series, and it might throw them off because if they try to make so many infield passes against a team who are going to read that and adapt their defense to deal with those passing plays, it can be really dangerous because a obvious infield pass leads to a very obvious interception. And if we start to see teams like, I know Flipside will want to do that, Rogue will want to do that. Rogue really love to make their counter-attacking plays by intercepting passes. Maybe overconfidence could play Gale for us if they don't go into every game 100% focused.
Well, 5-0 is the scoreline, still yet to concede despite K-Dop's best efforts earlier
Yeah, that
on.
was the closest they came to conceding. Would have been an own goal.
It was 17 or 16-0 throughout the
Overall,
entirety of these 2 games. As Gale Force just going to start winding this down. I think they're going to need to immediately get into some scrims once we are done here, get themselves back into full fighting form because they do not want to settle into, as you mentioned, bad habits.
No complacency.
That's going to be a meet off the backboard. TurboPulse waiting just a little while. Going to get it yet again.
Oh,
That's
that's a
actually
nice
a
shot.
thunderous shot. Well played, Turbo, showing off some of those insane mechanics of his.
Yeah, he realized that he wasn't going to be able to get the tight angle shot initially, so he just passes it to himself off the diagonal wall. And great read, into position. He had to manipulate his car pretty awkwardly with that dodge. Turbo looking very cheeky on the stage, I must say.
Get that mustache growing, boy. We all want it.
Do we? Do we really, Shogun?
Yes. Just commit. I want it. Therefore, I don't care after that.
So I did speak to Turbo's dad at RLCS Season 1, and he was very glad that Turbo shaved the mustache.
Parents never want you to have facial hair. Parents will never want
Especially
you to have
if you're a
facial
girl.
hair at all. As we come towards the final few moments of this game, Gale Force will take it in what was an exhibition
Maybe one
of
more.
their skills. And there
Yep,
we go.
there it
That
is.
is the one more goal. Gale Force, a team to be afraid of.
Yeah, tournament favorites, and they're showing us why. I think the total score not quite 20-0, but wow, the
was pretty
faces of their
close.
opponents, they know that they had absolutely no chance against some of the best players in the world. The RLCS Season 3 Grand Champion Turbo, K-Dop missing out on that title by a single game just weeks ago, and Violent Panda missing out in Season 2. So they're all grand finalists of the RLCS stage. No strangers to this environment, and they're very, very comfortable. They're looking great today.
So, difficult question for you to answer, considering we saw very little there. What do you think currently of the Gale Force squad?
I would say